I call this meeting of the Deweyville Independent School District to order. Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that the quorum of board members is present. That this meeting has been duly called. That a notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the text of the meeting and Governor's Code 550. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and will be available for public access.
God, thank you for today. Thank you for the blessings that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for a restful week for our employees and students, Lord. We ask that in the coming weeks you watch over us, keep us safe and healthy, Lord. We ask that you guide all the decisions that we make here tonight for the betterment of the district and for your glory. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Any public comment?
No, sir. No? No, you've always been right there.
Okay, let's jump into information items. Spring sports schedule.
So we've got softball, baseball, boys and girls golf, powerlifting, and track and field schedules in there for you. Powerlifting is already about to head to regionals this next week. We got a few boys that we're going to try to sneak in. They're going to the last qualifier on Wednesday. They're right on the line. And then for whatever reason, the state associations have lost their mind. The boys and girls regionals are in the same week. So the week after that, we're going to have one busy week of powerlifting, trying to get both of those meets in the same week. I'm sure Ms. Fountain loves it for her campus.
Everybody's on.
And track started up tonight with junior high track meet. High school starts next week. And then I guess the big one on that is next week is 2 home track meets. We got junior high on Monday and high school on Thursday at home. So we'll have a lot of people rolling around and a lot of track going on next week.
Good deal. We got a home baseball game tomorrow.
We do.
Good times.
I thought we didn't have.
That one got added. Friday was supposed to be home, but it was canceled.
Yeah.
Tuesday was added.
Okay.
All right, let's see. 2026 district realignment.
Okay, district realignments, UIO released these 3 weeks ago or so. Football stays exactly the same. Our bi-district round gets a little easier. We lost Lovelady and Mark's out of the region, so that's always a nice thing. But travel-wise and all for football, we don't see a lot of issues there. Volleyball, we lost Danbury. Pam was very sad about losing that bus trip. Very sad. We've proposed a schedule, Ms. Willis and I made it. We proposed a schedule to try to help our families in our travel that puts it to where volleyball is either at the same location as football, or you have a home volleyball game with an away football game so that we don't have people going all over the place. We don't know if that will be accepted or not. We sent it to the ADs and the superintendents. Most of them seem like they were going to be on board. We've got the DEC meeting for that though on Wednesday. So hopefully later this week we'll know that officially. But I'll just tell you, if for some reason we end up being volleyball at West Sabine while football is at West Hard, it wasn't our fault. We tried. We sent them a schedule that works really, really well. And the team with the hardest travel is actually us. We've got a home game here and an away game. I think Compostelle, that was the worst of it. And we thought they couldn't argue with us, but you never know when you get in those DEC meetings. We're going to try to help our families out. I know Coach Prowse and I will get in there and vote for it. And I think Evadale and Sabine Patch are going to be on board, so we should have a majority. But and then basketball, we lost Danbury for basketball too and picked up Kempville. So again, nice to lose that Danbury trip.
Yeah. Well, Kempville used to be in our district.
Yeah, they shrunk a little bit. So.
All right, 2C, district fundraiser highlights.
Had a Valentine dance for both elementary and middle school that Stuco hosted, and junior high cheers doing Fill My Bow to help with
uniform?
Or my pocketbook.
What?
Camp, uniforms, all
All
the
of it.
things, all the things.
Yeah, to help offset some of that. So,
I should have said this, so for the track meets, we talked about all the track meets coming up, but,
Mhm.
I'm not super familiar with the folks, the Booster Club folks, but if y'all are, let them know. I know that that's a pretty big stress. I mean, that's a huge deal. It's a huge moneymaker for the program. So don't be afraid to reach out to us to help. I mean, I've cooked thousands and thousands and thousands of burgers for track meets. So anyway, just let them know to gear up for it, and if they need help, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, I'm retired now and I'm not afraid to work a track meet. I can work a stopwatch,
Like I said,
I can measure long jump, high jump,
that's
Do
a
all that.
big moneymaker.
I can corral kids, I can do it all. Done it all in the past, I mean, I've never been able to help them now, but since I'm retired.
we'll let them know. Thank y'all very much.
Board of Trustees tenure.
So this is just an informational piece. Lori came on in 22. Her term expires this upcoming November of 26. Luke, same thing, and Sharon, same thing. Everybody else is expiring in 28. But this is information we've got to get out prior to elections.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought there was 4 of us that came on with me. There was 4 that came on.
There's 4 that expire in 28. There's 3 of us and 4 of y'all.
Okay. All right, cool. Superintendent's report.
Okay, the first thing is enrollment projections. You'll see 2 different enrollment projections. One is what TASB gives us. I don't really like theirs because it doesn't roll the numbers forward. If you look at like pre-K, pick any grade, you'll see the numbers stay pretty consistent, and that's not reality. Reality is those kids get a year older and promote a grade. So if you scroll down, there's a second report. That second report was the way that I look at numbers and prepared by me. I don't know if I'm right or TASB's right, but I like to think that our kids are going to promote and go to the next grade. And so what I've done there, I've moved each grade level to the next grade. And then for incoming pre-K, we actually have access to the live birth data. So just number of kids that have been born by zip code and what percentage of those kids normally come to our school. So that is doing the math on, zip code 7763, whatever, at X number of kids born that would be pre-K this year. We normally get this percentage of them, add up all the different zip codes. This is the best guess we have until they show up and enroll based on that. So that number's a little lower than what TASB suggests. But like I said, I think it reflects roll forward data a little more accurately. So if they come out of the woodwork for pre-K, we'll adjust.
So that the growth that is here, so is it,
The growth that's there is largely from this up here. They think we're going to grow in pre-K mainly. And live birth data doesn't show that. Is likely. Could be, but if we maintain a steady percentage of what we normally have, then that's not accurate.
okay.
If that's accurate, it's Parker's. Yeah. And I mean, right, I just don't know. I don't know how that would be accurate. So, right, it should, it should slide. So just 2 different ways of looking at numbers. Like I said, I'm just not I have some experience with the TASB one, and it's not good. It tended to always come up short when you're trying to plan for ADA. You'd rather come up over than short, so I tend to not. I'm always going to look at the TASB one, but when we're trying to budget plan, I'd rather do the other way around and plan for a worst case scenario than expect to get 20 more kids and they not show up. Let's see. Next.
Grants, intent to apply for a couple of grants here.
Yes, sir. So we got 3 grants that we're working on. One is an autism grant that's for services for students just with autism. Ms. Brown has been working on that tirelessly. That would get us some specific training and help for those kids targeted at very specific needs over a course of a couple of years, right, Chris? It's not a 1 year. Yes, that's what I thought. So that number you see, there's over the course of years to get some specialist help, training, supplies, equipment, geared towards those kids specifically.
You want to know specifics, I'd be more than happy to meet with you afterwards and go over all of that.
Texas Workforce Commission dual credit grant. That is for welding equipment and some welding training equipment. We've got to have a industry partner on that, so I've got a list of companies that are on the Texas Workforce Board. But if you've got connections with anybody that would like to write, they have to be part of the Newton County Region Workforce Commission, and they have to be a company that engages in welding. But I'll just throw it out there. If you
What
know,
about like ABC or any of those folks?
they can't do it because they're not. Because that was mine. I had several contacts there I was going to call, but they have to be in Region 17 for the Texas Workforce Commission, and all of mine are Region. All my contacts are Region 18 out of Orange County, Jefferson County, and all. I've got a list. There's some good companies on there that I think will help us. Tubal Cain, I'm trying to remember.
You said it has to be Newton County?
They have to be in that Workforce Commission region. So Texas Workforce Commission is broken up into, I think, 23 regions, and
What DP Texas?
yes, ours is called the Deep East Texas region, and so we have to have a company from the Deep East Texas region that's willing to write. All we need is a letter from them saying that they think welding has value to their company.
About like B&E or those folks. You part of it?
Yes, they are.
So STI.
STI too would be over there.
Yeah. If Jasper County's in Deep East Texas too.
STI would be a great.
So.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind cold calling people, but it's always nice if you got a connection in to help us maybe get it a little quicker. But what we're looking at there is some new welding machines, but also some virtual welding trainers to where we're not, for young kids that are just learning, we're not spending so much money on material that just ends up in the trash heap. It's through Lincoln Electric is who builds it, so I mean it applies directly into their types of multi-process machines, and it gives pretty good instant feedback. And it's as a teacher, it's a nice tool because it will give you a score in what went wrong instantly when those kids finish. And it comes with several different modules to where you can teach some different types of stuff. It even has some pieces of pipe you can work on, etc. So that's where that money is looking at. And then the last one there is Effective Advising Framework. That's a grant through that we'd be partnering with Region 5 on. It specifically gets us help at the high school to work with students on current graduation plans, how they're going to get their dual credit hours, their certifications for industry and stuff like that, and also works with them on post-secondary. And I mean, I've got a lot that person will be able to do. But that grant, the first year, we have to provide some of the salary for the person, and then for 3 years, it covers the entire salary for a person that'll be able to come in and work with our students on that. The goal of the grant is that person works so much doing that and getting CT hours and outcome bonuses from CTE that by the end of that 4th year, they've brought in so much money they are perpetually paying for their own position. So it's something that we would really like to get in on. I bugged the heck out of my contact at Region 5 about us needing it. So she's tired of listening to me.
Okay, good deal. Any questions? Concerns, anybody?
Got a question. Hey, this is kind of off topic, I guess. Whenever y'all get ready to do the welding and stuff like that, my company that I work for, we have probably 300 pounds of welding wire. We can't use anymore because it's out of our code. So I was going to bring you out with that.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's roll into action items. Discuss Discuss and take possible action to approve monthly bills, board reports, and utilities.
I move to discuss and take possible action to approve monthly bills, board reports, and utilities.
All right, any questions, any concerns? All in favor? Discuss and take possible action to approve monthly board meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion to discuss and take possible action to approve the monthly board meeting minutes.
Any questions? All in favor? Carries. Discuss and take possible action to approve donations to Deweyville ISD. Do we have any donations? Oh, we do.
I'll make a motion to discuss, and take possible action to approve donations to Louisville Independent School District.
I'll second.
We've got two donations. The first is from the Stark Foundation. They donated $3,000 to be utilized by school counselors for the sole purpose of purchasing clothing, toiletry, and school supplies for students who may need them. This is, I think, our second grant from them this year. So it ends up being $1,500 for each campus, really. The check they send us is $3,000 total.
Okay, then we got the
And then this, second one is Indorama. If you've seen their Fishorama event in the spring, that money goes towards this. So Ms. Anderson and I wrote for this one. We got clip-on tuners for our band students. They go on each individual instrument. They sit on the music stand, and they give that student real-time feedback to if they're playing the correct note, how loud they're playing, and things like that. They can see for themselves, and then also when they're practicing and all, they can see that tuning real time, and they're not having to wait on her. Prior to getting these in, we had one tuner, and it's a very, very good one, but it's one. And so she would have to stop everybody and go one student at a time to see if they're playing in tune. Now they get feedback as we're going without having to stop. So pretty nice investment there from Indorama.
Yeah. All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Discuss and take possible action on adopting resolution regarding the SB 11.
Motion to discuss and take possible action on adopting resolution regarding this.
Second.
Okay, I got some legal language to read here, y'all. This is part of that 89th legislature, so y'all just give me a second. Some lawyer wrote this. Whereas Senate Bill 11 passed by the 89th legislature requires each school board to take a record vote by March 1st, 2026 on whether to adopt a policy requiring each campus to provide students, employees with an opportunity to participate in a period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious text on each school day. And whereas Section 25.0283A-1 of the Texas Education Code prescribes a model resolution that must be adopted by record vote before the district may implement such a policy. And whereas the Board of Trustees is required to hold a vote on the approval of the resolution to comply with Senate Bill 11. And whereas if this resolution is approved by a majority vote, a policy shall be adopted requiring every campus of Deweyville ISD to provide the prayer and reading time described above.
So if I hear you correctly, if we vote to approve, if everybody raises their hand, then we're going to have to adopt a special time of day to do it.
Correct.
If we do not vote or we vote it down, then we keep it status quo.
Correct.
Okay.
And currently, just to say it out loud, currently our students can pray anytime they want to. They can read the Bible anytime they want to. We have an active Bible club that is open membership. Kids can come anytime they choose to. If we vote for this, we need permission slips for all of that before we can allow it. So,
So again, not to sway anybody's vote, vote however you choose, but all in favor? Okay, motion failed. 3E, discuss and take possible action to adopt the 2026-2027 academic.
Make a motion, discuss, take possible action, adopt the 2026-2027 academic calendar.
I'll second.
I've also got these in color, as a paper handout for each of y'all, extra product if you want to see them. Academic calendar, we're looking at, 170 student days, 184 teacher days. That is a reduction on our teacher days. It will not affect their pay. Their daily rate will go up in compensation of losing those 3 days. They will stay at their yearly rate. This was something we talked about back in October or so of doing this, that our teachers had been doing some online training that was really not of a lot of value. And so we thought better to give them their 3 days back and respect their time.
If I remember, this aligns us pretty much with everyone else as well.
Correct. We get more in alignment with what other districts around us are doing. LCM is not somebody we can sign a few of their teachers that want 3 days back. It does move up the starting day of the first day of school by a week over what it was this past year. That was something that our teachers on the committee felt pretty strongly needed to happen. That starting late, it put all of our teacher days at the beginning of the year instead of spreading them out. And so next year, some of those days that were at the beginning of the year, they occur at the end of each grading period, giving teachers time to make sure their grades are correct, verify grades and attendance, and do it on a work day instead of doing it conference period at home, whatever may be going on right now. It gives them a specific time and day to really make sure those grades are correct and update everything, and also gives the principals time to go through data and work and meet with whatever they need to meet with those teachers about, spread out through the year instead of all being front loaded.
Did the staff get to vote for this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the staff had 2 calendars that they were sent to vote for. We had a teacher committee of 6 teachers that helped create the calendars. They unanimously voted to send the 2 that they sent, and I know there's been some people that did not like those 2, and all I can tell you is I don't know how many times I said, y'all, we can send as many calendars as we want. We can come up with as many options as y'all want. We can do whatever you want. The only rules are we have to be this many minutes, and the committee.
So on this committee, you said there were how many?
6 teachers.
6 teachers volunteered or
Yes.
appointed?
I honestly don't know. I asked the campus principals to get me people.
Okay, were those campus principals on that committee?
No, ma'am, they were sent the calendar before I sent them out to staff, but they were not on it.
You know, I have a problem with that, with our principals not being a part of that calendar. Were you a part of the calendar
Yes, ma'am, I was.
process? I would think that the 2 principals would need to be on that, in that process. I mean, their campuses.
Can I speak? Thank you for that, but I appointed people, and the ones that I appointed to send, I kind of talked about my wishes for the calendar, so they brought that to them. I was okay not being on it, because I spoke to the people that were on the committee, and we looked at what it looked like for high school, and what would be best for high school, and they shared those wishes there with the president.
So you had input.
Yes, and I do, there's only one other input that I should have brought up, but that's graduation. I wanted to look at that, instead of it being on a Thursday night.
It's on Friday.
Did we move it to Friday?
Graduation's on Friday, after that work day.
Ms. Parkhurst, was you able to incorporate with your committee on the elementary and?
Not to the extent that I wish I had.
I'm hearing, you know, from a lot of the staff that they didn't have the opportunity for input. That the 2 calendars that they voted on were exactly alike, except for like a half day here or there. So they didn't have much choice. Like, there wasn't a lot of deviation in any of the calendars. the breaks were exactly the same. And it's like, my first comment to them was, did you volunteer to be on that committee? And they said we didn't have that option. Which, back in the day, Mr. Waldron, you know, we had two separate campuses, each one came up with a calendar, and then we submitted it, and everybody got to vote, we talked about it, and everybody got to vote, but everybody was a part of that campus calendar. The superintendent came up with their calendar, and then the two campuses came up with theirs, and 3 were submitted, and that's what was voted on. But I'm hearing a lot of, teachers and employees that didn't think that they had a say in it at all, that, they're basically saying the administration built the calendars, and that the committee only met like one time.
2 times and lots of emailing.
So if they're saying the administration built the calendar and the principals weren't really a part of that other than providing input to their selected people, then it'd be you that was the administrator that was.
I was the administrator of the road, yes.
Okay.
But, I mean, again, we sat and, again, I can't tell you how many times I asked the committee, what do we like, what do y'all want, what are the non-negotiables, and deferred to the teachers. I mean, these are not the 2 I would have sent to vote on. I would have sent one of them, but not both of these. I deferred to that committee on what they, as our representative, as the campus representatives, wanted to vote.
And we had.
Can this action item be tabled until we get another calendar worked out, or just our president have some input?
Well, I think we're kind of stuck now, if this was the procedure for this time. My question is this the way it's gonna be done every time, that we may need to look at a better way of doing this calendar without, I mean, instead of just 7 people out of how many employees?
Well, we had, so were there questions, so 3 from each campus?
2 from each campus.
Two from the
And
elementary, 2 general teachers from high school, a representative from athletics, and a representative from finance.
And one of mine didn't show up, and I did not know that she didn't go.
And no, I'm not married to doing it this way. It's what I'm familiar with, taking a couple representatives from each campus to make a calendar, and first you're doing it here. And so I'm more than open to changing the process. Again, just the process I'm used to. And from
You know,
talking.
in the past, haven't we always, the campus got together and you talked to them and we talked about what goes on this year and what we have, when STAR testing is gonna be, da 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 da.
And that is my only problem with this calendar.
Well, let me
Is
Let me
that
go
we
this
to
with it.
spring
So-
break, we come back and we're already in the testing.
just as a reminder, as a board, we have a bill, our driver is the superintendent, right? He works for us. We pay him to manage these and for us not to get the weeds. I agree, we should be able to voice our opinions on it. But at the end of the day, we oversee the superintendent and his driving. I'm not here to dictate principles or any of that sort of stuff. I would hope if the principals aren't happy with the way it went down, they would take him in closed doors and say, look, dang it, this is what I want to do as we grow as a school and learn each other. So, not that we shouldn't be able to have an open conversation about it, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it's for.
My feel is if the athletic director is having a say so, why aren't the principals having a say so about it?
They should.
Yeah.
So it sounds like probably going to do something a little different.
Yes.
Pretty good.
All right, so we have the calendar. Now, is there a deadline that we have to meet to go in either direction? Either way, it's been presented, it went through the guidelines you submitted, so anyway, we'll go take it to vote. So all in favor? Okay, looks like we don't have a calendar. 3F, discuss and take possible action to approve auditors for the 2026 audit.
Make a motion to discuss, take possible action to approve auditors for the fiscal year 2026 audit.
I'll second.
Okay, this is from, the auditors that presented at our last board meeting. It's a summary of their audit. Which is just the accepting of that finding. We've got to vote to approve and get signed off on and posted for legal.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So, last board meeting, Pat that, presented the audit to us, this is the summary of his findings. And it's just, this is the approval of that audit and the findings from him.
Okay, I guess that's what's right. So, but it's not in here, right? His findings are in here. Okay,
Yes.
that's what we're throwing out. See, this, all I seen was all and included.
Oh, okay. Yeah, should be.
So this piece, gotcha.
Yes. Okay. No, all right, no. Sorry, no, that was the.
But this is the one we reviewed the last meeting?
Yes, sir.
He was reviewed.
Yes.
Right, we just have to
That
sign
riveting
off on
review.
that.
Yeah. All right, all in favor? Motion carries. 3G, discuss and take possible action to correct the language used in all of these ones listed.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to discuss and take possible action to correct the language used in all of these listed.
Second.
Is this just to bring us up to
Compliance.
TSP compliance?
Yes, sir. So all of this is changing language where either our local policy doesn't actually say something, and so we have a note that says it does, but it needs to come out because our local policy doesn't override it, or we have a local policy that does change something and it doesn't have that note.
That's the
So,
one you have been going through.
yes, we've been working on, yes, Sarah and Samantha have been doing a lot of legwork on this, with our CASB consultant, trying to find everything, get it right. This is making us right. It's making our policy reflect what our handbooks and guidelines actually say. So, there's a bunch of them there. I don't figure anybody wants to read through, 7, 8, 9 policies word for word. But, if you look at the first one, it's very similar. There's a note at the top that says this local policy has been revised in accordance with the district innovation plan, and it shows a strike through of that, or it shows adding that. It's that phraseology over and over, either coming out or going in as needed. So.
Any more questions, concerns? All in favor? Discuss and take possible action to approve Deweyville ISD teacher incentive allotment.
I move to discuss and take possible action to approve Deweyville ISD's teacher incentive allotment plan.
All right, I put a paper plan on your desk.
Second, I'll second, I'm sorry.
Sorry, y'all. I was excited about this one. I put a paper plan on your desk. Samantha had uploaded the draft plan before the teacher committee met, so I put this one on your desk that is, it is slightly more accurate. It reflects a 4-tier system for the allotment, which is what the state is going to instead of the old 3-tier system. So it's 15 pages and I think 34 points. So I'm going to try to hit the highlights real quick, and then if you have any questions, feel free. On teacher experience, teachers have to have a minimum of 5 years total, 1 year in district, and they have to be certified before they can receive it. They do not have to be certified for all 5 years, but they have to be certified before they can receive the teacher incentive allotment. We felt like that kept us in line with the House Bill 2 guidelines that are coming down about certification.
Don't mean to stop
Nope,
you right
you're
here.
good.
So does that mean that if I'm a new teacher and I move into the district, I have to wait at least 1 year before I can be a part of the TIA, or?
Unless you're bringing it with you.
Okay, that's what I was
If you're bringing it, so if we steal somebody from Fire that has it, they bring it with them until their 5 years is up, and then it comes down to how did they do for us, right? But if they're brand new or they don't have it from somewhere, then they have to finish that year, which they would have to finish the year anyway for us to have data on them. So I don't really know why they make us say that, because you can't give it to somebody that you don't have data on. But I guess maybe some districts do more than a year, I don't know.
But they have to have 5 years of experience.
5 years total, yes, ma'am. Yes.
5 years of teaching experience.
Yes, sir.
Only one of which is certified.
Yes, at least that last one certified.
And in Deweyville ISD.
And then do it. Yes. There's student growth tiers. There's 4 different tiers. They're called Acknowledged, Recognized, Exemplary, and Master. We put in cut scores there of how many, of a percentage of the teacher students that met or exceeded growth. We're using our T-test observations. The better you do, the more points that a teacher gets. We average their domain 2 and 3, which is a really technical way of saying, how do you teach? Because domain 1 is planning, and domain 4 is like community and ethical standards. So when we're looking at this TIA, we're looking strictly at what do you do as an in-classroom teacher when students are in front of you? How good are you in the classroom? And so we look at those, we average them together, we get a final score. That counts the teacher score. How good of a teacher are you? Count 60%. Your students growing, count 40%. That was something that the committee debated over for quite a while. We felt like that was more fair because as a small district, like if you have our current 6th grade where there's only 28 students, one kid going backwards that was at Masters and goes backwards to me, they still did really well. I mean, that kid could have gone from an 88 to an 85. They did well, but they would not show growth, and that one kid's going to cost you 3%. Whereas in LCM or something like that, that one kid cost you 1/3%. So we felt like with our small class sizes, it was more fair to put more on the teacher side than on the student side to kind of protect our teachers from having that one class that might come through that's just a little bit lower than another group, especially with COVID kids still coming through.
So only classes that have a testing model or teachers who teach a class that is tested?
That's the next one.
Okay.
So the idea behind this plan is that we start with people that we feel like, from what we've been told from the Region Service Center, will get approved. We want the plan approved as quick as possible so we're not having to revise for several years and nobody getting money, and then we can add other teachers to it. So our groups that are included this first time are pre-K through 2nd grade teachers. When we have some measures that we're using from them, those are CLI, Saxon Math, TPRI, and Circle Student Growth. And then our 3rd through 8th grade teachers, STAR, and 9th through 11th grade teachers, STAR EOC. And so we're using the growth charts from those tests. And then we will expand out into CTE and other electives after we get the data to validate. What we were told pretty much point blank by Region 5 is people that have tried to include those other folks have not gotten their data validated the first year. And so in an effort to get it going, we're going to do it, again, committee input was, let's do it this way. Let's follow Region 5's advice, narrow it down to these folks, and then we will expand into how to use ISEV for CTE, how to use Music First for our music teachers, how to use FitnessGram for PE and those types of
But
things.
those approvals will be on an individual basis, right? So you're going to approve, let's say we approve this, like, this was done.
Yes, sir.
It's in the books.
Correct.
So then we add CTE. It's
Correct.
going to go on its own, have to stand on its own 2 feet to go through.
Correct.
CTE piece, we don't have to redo the whole thing.
Correct.
Right?
We just make an addendum
And
to
so on and
this.
so forth.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just make an addendum to this saying this is how we're going to measure them. This is the cut points. And so, like I said, the hope is to get money into people's hands as quick as possible, because even with this, if it gets approved this year, if data validates, no problem. The first time somebody's going to get money is summer of 28. So we want to get rolling on this as quick as possible for our teachers. If you look at bullet point 19, which is on page 8 and 9, It shows you a kind of worked example of how a teacher could score. And what that would come out to. Your final score there, whatever you come to, goes on a chart. That chart has the 4 categories on it, and that determines how much money you get. The amount of money you get for each category is set by the state. What we do with it is decided on by this committee and this plan. So just want to put that out there. It's not like the state hands us, if we get 4 teachers, they don't hand us an amount of money and say, y'all figure out what to do with it. It is a set amount. If a teacher gets masters for us, it is almost $29,000 that comes in for that teacher, and then we're allowed to decide within some guidelines what that $29,000 does. So that's probably the biggest part of this. For us, the decision was 10% is retained by the district to support admin, sustainability, and ongoing operations of TIA system. So what that really means is if we have to buy testing materials, if we have to pay for Region 5 to come out to help with adding in those CTE teachers and writing that part of the plan, that's where that 10% comes for. That way it is sustainable to do this year after year. If we do not use it for that, it will go back to that campus to help buy supplies to do more for the kids. It's not going to be money that we just sit on as admin and hoard in our little hidey hole or something like that. If it is not used directly for the sustainability of that at the end of the year, it will go back to the campus that earned it to help those teachers get more stuff that they need. 80% is to the designated teacher. So if Ms. Jones earns it, she'll get 80% of the amount. 10% is to content area paraprofessionals. Our paraprofessionals do not have a way to get a lot of extra money, and their salaries are pretty low for the area. And so this was something that came up from one of our teachers about rewarding those folks that are in there with some of their toughest students. Because we don't put paraprofessionals in the easy classes. And so I've not seen that before. But it seems like a valid thought, and it got unanimous vote from that committee. And so
So the same stipulations for the teachers would apply to the paraprofessionals too?
So yeah, so on the paraprofessional. So one, the teacher has to get it, but two, there's a paraprofessional evaluation that I've sent to the principals, and it has the same type of scoring system. And if they don't score high enough on it, then they don't get it. So it can't just be a paraprofessional that's sitting in the room scrolling on a phone, not really helping. They've got to be actively involved in helping and score the same as the teacher in order to get that percentage.
Is the teacher involved in their
Evaluation.
I mean, that's who they're working with on a daily basis, right? And teacher is a professional.
We've been working on a paraprofessional evaluation and that teacher input.
I think there is a spot for teacher input on it.
I think so. I didn't look at that.
Last
Last week.
percentage from the paraprofessional residents right there.
Go back into the campus to help them.
We need something for the paraprofessionals because we'll get better quality of people who are willing to do more for the children and for the teacher and for all of that. And they're just part of the process. They're part of building that.
I get that.
I know.
And I think that's what we definitely need, but I also want to make sure that that teacher who's working with that paraprofessional every single day has some input and says, yeah, they're valuable, or you know what?
You know, you have different.
We need to get rid of them. So
I think that's right. I think that's exactly right.
Again, we're just started in on that process. Once that wrote this idea, I was like, we need a better paraprofessional evaluation. We can't just hand it to somebody that doesn't really deserve it because their teacher's good, right?
Exactly.
And
But before we do it, I guess we're going to have a summit plan that's approved, and the guidelines are kind of black and white and how we manage it and how we see it, right? That's the main thing. As long as we've got a plan, and it's an internal plan, we don't have to get it blessed by the state.
A Region 5 has to approve it, don't they?
Not the para plan.
Not the para part. No,
We'll
that
have
will
to
be
do that,
us.
yeah.
Yes, that will be us. That's
Okay. balance it so that the teacher doesn't feel indebted to just sign off on that pair or getting something. There needs to be something else that, and I'm sure Mr. Wellborn will figure that part out as far as that goes, because you don't want it just to revolve around, learning.
No, yeah, no, it's,
Right.
there's,
Needs to be
it
principal.
can't just be all on the teacher,
Exactly.
but the
exactly.
teacher needs to have input
A lot
into
of
it.
it, right, the majority of it.
So,
Because that's who they work with.
Because, that teacher's, their success is gonna be tied to that para, and that para does deserve to get something if that teacher in that class is successful.
Absolutely.
Unless the observation shows that the para is not doing it.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to make sure of.
And that's exactly what we.
And that's the way it's set up to me, is that if you're not a good pair, you're not contributing to the success.
So if
And,
you don't get them.
one of the things that I want to point out on the paraprofessional one, because we have paras that work with multiple teachers, they can only get it for one teacher. Teachers can only get it for one content area, so like somebody who teaches 6th and 7th grade math can't earn 2 TIA distinctions even though they teach 2 subjects. So just like a teacher cannot do that, a para cannot do that either. They would get it for one person. What we have said though for the teachers and the paras, we'll take the highest we can possibly get. So if you're a teacher that teaches 6th and 7th grade something that's tested, and your 7th graders outperform your 6th graders, we're taking your 7th grade score. We want to give you the most money possible and take the highest possible score. And same thing for the paras.
So the pairs that are working with 4 different teachers have a better chance than the ones that are working with just one teacher. Make sure that that's out there.
Yes.
One question, on the, and I may have misunderstood, on the, certification. You said for 5 years, that last year they had to be certified. So they don't have to be certified before that, or?
Now we
So,
have to have teaching experience.
yes, okay, so as part of House Bill 2, they're gonna have a limited amount of time anyway, which we're gonna address that plan in just a minute. For our kids that come out of college doing alternative cert, that first year or 2 while they're getting their certification still counts towards their 5 years. But before they can even submit data, they have to be certified. Yes, sir.
Are these paraprofessionals, are they like evaluated throughout the year, or is there any kind of time frame where they get evaluated on their performance?
We're working on that. Right now they are evaluated. Our principals evaluate them. What we're working on is formalizing it a lot more and making it near the teacher system better so that it reflects educational outcomes better. So that's why we're working on a new system for the parents, so that it better aligns with this and what the teachers are needing.
So the principals just, I don't wanna say double up their work, but have them do the user observations for not just the teachers, but the paras. But can you guys do that in the same room at the same time? Is that what you'll do?
That can all be done in one shot.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, sir, that's the highlights. If there's any specific questions, I'll be glad to answer them, but, I'll just tell you the reason it's broken down into so many pieces is that when I go to put this into TEA to get our TIA plan approved, that's the parts that it's broken down into, and so I'm trying to have this ready to hand where I can answer their questions quickly and efficiently to hopefully get this approved, so.
Thank you for putting this together. I know we asked about this for a number of years. So, and thank you for taking the action to get it moving, thanks to the principals and everybody who's involved in doing it.
It's important for our teachers,
For sure.
it's a good recruiting tool. And I'll just throw it out there, when we get it and we start recruiting, we've got the 4th highest top number in this region. The only school districts that their top numbers higher than us are, Beaumont, Port Arthur, and West Orange. And there's a reason they're getting more, so this truly ought to be a recruiting tool for good people who want to come here, where they can have that money and small class sizes.
All right. Any more questions, concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Discuss and take possible action to renew the Regional Pool Alliance.
Make a motion to discuss and take possible action to renew the regional pool alliance.
Okay, this is our, pool that we use for, lots of insurance, workman's comp, insurance, flood, liability, it's our insurance. The highlight on this one is the coverage stays the same, and it is our, premium is going down $25,479, $429. I had the number written down and I cannot find it up here. It's on the page that I turned over. But it is going down. I don't know what revision they did. I just know that we got the quote in. It did not change our coverage at all. And it is going down. And she goes, well, we can look at other people. And I went, no.
I don't know, did they get rid of our earthquake insurance or something?
I don't know. But, I mean, we've been on this campus for how long?
Like I said, it's all of the parts of the policy are the same from year to year, but they are going down. I don't know if maybe they picked up some other larger client in the pool that can help offset a little bit, so maybe it deferred everybody's cost a little bit. I don't know. I just know, Janae and I talked about maybe trying to piecemeal some of this out to several different companies, and when they came back with that, we were like, well, that's not, she said we've had good luck with them since she's been here, and they've done well by us, so we're gonna recommend we go back with them, especially the savings.
Yeah, all right. Any more questions? Concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Discuss and take possible action for purchases over 10K. All right, nothing there. All right, let's go into closed meeting. Be right back. Let's close it down.